I just lost my mind at my boyfriend. We're together for just over 4 years, lived together for just over 2. I'm 25 and he's 27. His brother just proposed to his girlfriend of 2 years, and as happy as I am for them, I also got angry as I thought that we would be engaged before them. I sat him down this past September and very strongly expressed my desire to get married. He gave a very vague response that he wasn't ready yet, but was feeling more positive towards it as time goes on. I feel like I'm banging my head against a brick wall. He's had issues which are getting a lot better now, but this situation is constantly making me feel like I'm not good enough to be proposed to. But I'm a catch. I cook, I clean, I make sound financial decisions, we split the bills 50-50, we're renting. I have a good paying job for my age and career prospects. I plan surprises, I make an effort with my appearance, and I'm not bad to look at. I actually had a very active dating life before I met him, so I know I'm not an ogre, not that it should matter anyway. These past 4 years have been lovely, but I'm ready for the next step. I used to be a lot more ruthless when I was dating around, but I've gone soft and obviously I love him and the thought of leaving is painful. But the alternative, a long dating time with no real commitment in my eyes, is painful and humiliating. So tonight I burst into tears and asking him to call it now if he has no intention of proposing. He sat quiet while I ranted and raved, and I finished with, if you have no intention of proposing, that's fine, but please stop wasting my time. To which he looked at me and responded with a solemn, okay. We haven't spoken since. In the early days, he would never let me get upset without comforting me, but now it's different. He let me cry alone. Oh. I was going to say like, hey girl, you're only 25. Maybe you should just take a little bit of attention off of it. That's my suggestion. Like I genuinely think that when you think too hard about it and when you think too much about it or you put too much pressure on it, even put too much pressure on it yourself, especially because you're 25 and he's 27. Like you guys are still young, and I'm not saying that you should just settle for him never proposing. I'm not saying that at all, because obviously if that's what you want and that's like the end goal, then that's the end goal. But at the same time, it's like you can be happy if you're in a relationship and you're super happy and the only thing that you're not happy about is the fact that you guys aren't engaged. I think that if you just take a little focus off of that, then it will really help you, because you can be, how am I explaining this? I don't know. I feel like just be grateful for your relationship, and I'm not trying to say that in like an annoying way, but focus more on like gratitude for your relationship and the fact that you have a healthy and happy relationship, and you're in a really healthy relationship with someone that you love and that loves you back, unless you're lacking in some ways, and that's why you're kind of feeling like you need him to propose to you, because that's like a totally different situation. So I honestly feel like if you take a step back and you look at the situation like that, because I don't know how to explain it, but I feel like a lot of the time when someone is like really wanting a proposal, I feel like a lot of the time, not every time, but they're focusing on this proposal even though they're lacking in other things in their relationship. And they think that if they get this proposal, that will make those things go away that they're lacking, and that will make up for all of the things that are lacking in that relationship. But I feel like if you have a healthy and happy relationship and you're really not lacking in anything, and you're like fulfilled in all aspects of your relationship, I don't think that you're focusing as much on the proposal side of things, okay? I have to say that first before I address this specific situation, just in case. I don't know, because that's how I feel about it, and I genuinely think that that is true in a lot of instances. But for this specific situation, I think he is being an asshole, because if he has absolutely no intention of proposing, then yeah, he's wasting your time and he's fucking around with you, and that's not fair to you at all. It's not fair at all. And I don't understand why he wasted so much time with you. And I don't know. I think that if this is truly like, especially because maybe it's the way that you went about the conversation that made him feel a little uncomfortable, but the way that he responded is very avoidant, and I hate when someone is avoidant. It's like, take it from the last story and just like communicate with your partner and tell them how you feel. Tell them, hey, actually, you're right. I've decided I have no intention on proposing, and I should have told you that, and I'm sorry. Or be like, hey, I love you so much, and I do plan on proposing, but, I'm just waiting to this, and this. I don't know, maybe list some specific things that you're waiting for to make you feel like you're ready, because I think that would probably help her feel a lot better about it. But him just being like, okay, and then you're not talking, that's so messed up. And it makes you so anxious. Like, that's the worst type of person, when someone is just like actively making you anxious. And that is so avoidant. I hate avoidant people. Okay, edit. I got a lot more than I bargained for with this post. Thank you to everyone who's weighed in and given me some tough love. I really appreciate it. I'm going to delete Reddit for a little while, as it's slightly overwhelming when a chorus of hundreds of people are telling you to leave your relationship, but hopefully I'll be back to update you soon. Wishing you all a wonderful 2025, whatever it may bring. I mean, I think the biggest thing you guys need to do is have a conversation about it so that you guys can get on the same page, even if that means you guys are on different pages and you decide to leave the relationship. But at the end of the day, you don't want to be like forcing him into proposing to you, because I don't think that will make you happy. I think that once it has to get to that point of you being like, you need to propose, and then they're pressured into proposing, and then they basically just give you a shut up ring, I think that it kind of just takes away the special part of it, and I just don't think that you'll end up happy. And I think you'll probably end up realizing that after you get engaged, and you'll be like, oh wow, that didn't fulfill me the way that I thought it would, because it was on my pressure. It was on my timeline, and only because I pressured him into it, and not because he wanted to do it. Because of course you want to be proposed to because they want to propose to you. You don't want to be proposed to because you forced them, or you cried to them and told them that like you can't wait any longer, You don't want that to be the reason. Okay, this person said, you sound like a spoiled, overdramatic brat. You left out way too much info. You've been dating for 4 years and you're 25. You're overreacting, in my opinion. There are so many things that go into marriage, financially, morally. Is all that ironed out? Are you on the same page about kids? Do you want to buy a house, live in the same area? Is there anything that could be holding this up? As a man, getting married in America is daunting. All rights in the divorce go to women. Men get shit on during divorces. It's a scary prospect. All right, buddy, please. You lost me. I mean, that was a very harsh way to start that as well. If you start advice with, you sound like a spoiled, overdramatic brat, I think the person's probably not going to listen to your advice or take it to heart. OP said, I'm not American. We've spoken about kids and buying a house. We're actively saving for a property together and are on the same page about marriage. As many other commenters have said, he wants all the benefits without having to stand in front of all of our friends and family and commit to each other. And that's a sticking point I may have been willing to compromise on once, but not anymore. By the way, I'm a lot more financially savvy than him, and he's poor, so I doubt divorce would work against him. Okay, queen. Also, that's not true. Men don't always get shit on in divorces. Like, come on. All right, this is additional information from OP after reading the comments. OP said, phew, okay, this blew up while I was sleeping. Thank you for all of your insights, but to be completely honest, everything that's been discussed is just reaffirming what I've already thought and already know. We spoke for a couple of hours and reflected on our relationship so far. It's funny because the engagement situation is very similar to when we moved in together. I had to plead with him to make a decision when we were offered a house. Probably should have ended it then. And this obviously doesn't fill me with confidence for the future. If I have to beg for every step forward in the relationship, what's the point in being in one? Like many of you have said, I deserve someone that leaps into life with me rather than being dragged. It is a shame that he can't be that person for me. I wish I could fart. Sorry. I wish I could start afresh January 1st, 2025. However, I have a lease to contend with, which is up for renewal in March. Even if I did get a ring at this point, I don't think I'll be renewing. I gave too much way too early on, and now I'm learning my lesson. It's going to hurt a lot, but I just can't cope with the disappointment and the anger anymore. It's taking me away from myself. Thank you all again for giving me permission to be angry and pissed off that I'm not being treated like I deserve. Here's to freeing ourselves from the shackles of wife duties on a girlfriend's salary in 2025. I honestly disagree with the whole wife duties on a girlfriend's salary. I think that if you're in like a healthy, happy relationship with someone and this person is fulfilling you and fulfilling your relationship and you feel like there's nothing missing, I don't think that there's a problem with doing all the things. Like, I think, I don't know. It's just like for me, and I know this is probably going to be a hot take because a lot of people always are saying like, don't do wife duties on a girlfriend's salary. But I just think that if you're like, I don't think that a relationship should be about playing games and like not doing certain things because you're not a wife and they haven't wifed you up yet and you're just a girlfriend. Like, of course, I think that in the aspect of like, you shouldn't buy a home together if you're just girlfriend and boyfriend, unless you want to. Like, honestly, if whatever. I mean, it's not probably not the best like financial decision to get into that with someone, but honestly, if you want to do that, go right ahead. Be my guest and do that, because everyone's life is different and not everyone wants to get married. So maybe they want to just be girlfriend and boyfriend and buy a house together, and then that's all they're going to do. They're not ever going to get married. They're not ever going to have kids. Whatever. Everyone's life is different. Perspective is different. There's nuance in every situation. But yeah, I mean, I just feel like if you're just holding back in a relationship just because you're like, well, I'm a girlfriend and I'm not going to do that until you put a ring on my finger. I don't know. I just think that's like immature in my opinion, because I don't have a ring on my finger and I live with my boyfriend. I do everything that I will do when I'm married. I don't know what wife duties, I don't really know what wife duties we're talking about here, to be honest. Because like, I think I'm very much so a modern woman, I guess I would say. I like to do things evenly, and I like for him to have his chores around the house and for me to have my chores around the house. And I like to split things like rent, and I like to split the electric bill and things like that. We'll treat each other obviously to like dinners and gifts and things like that, but I like to do things evenly. Unless of course I'm making like $1 million, then I'll probably be paying for everything, and I think that would be the same way if he was also making $1 million. But that's just not how it is, and I feel extremely fulfilled in my relationship, and I would say that I'm doing everything that a wife would do as well. I don't know if they're meaning that in like a traditional sense where it's like the wife just stays home and takes care of the house or something, but I disagree with that. I know a lot of people are gonna yell at me probably, but sometimes I hold back on what I want to say, and I never really did that in the beginning of this podcast for the first like, I don't even know, 200 episodes probably. But then sometimes I'll get in these like states where I feel like, so if I read too many comments, or, well, you know what? Most of my comments are nice, okay? But if I read too many bad comments and they like are criticizing the way that like I think about something, then I'm like, I start second guessing myself, and I need to stop doing that, because even if I did say something that like maybe I changed my mind on the next day, who cares? People can change their mind every day. People can change their mind, or guess what? We don't have to have the same opinion, you know? Like, I can have a different opinion than you, and that doesn't mean that I'm wrong, and that doesn't mean that you're wrong, and that doesn't mean that I'm right, and that doesn't mean that you're right, okay? Everything is different because we are all different. We have different worldviews, and the things that we want in life are different. Like, it's kind of similar to like my boyfriend was saying, I was telling him, because we want to move up north at some point, like in New England, I don't know yet, Connecticut, Massachusetts, or something like that. And he was saying that his friends were telling him like, oh, don't do that because I don't like Connecticut, or I don't like Massachusetts. Like, they were saying they don't like this place. And I'm like, that doesn't make sense though, because just because they don't like a certain place doesn't mean that I don't like a certain place. You know what I mean? Am I making sense? Like, some people love living in Florida, and that's great for them. I would never recommend it to someone because everyone's different, and I don't like living in Florida. So like, just because I don't like living in Florida doesn't mean that you won't like living in Florida, unless you for sure know for a fact that you won't like living in Florida. I don't know if that makes sense, but I was like, well, everyone's different. Like, some people would want to live in Montana and some people would want to live in Los Angeles, but like, those are two different people. It's not universal. All right. Sorry. Sorry, guys. Worldview, you know? What are you going to do about it? What are you going to do about it? Also, sometimes I am a little too soft and I'm a little too. My friend was telling me that she was listening to some of my episodes and she was like, "You were being way too nice about that." And I was like, well, sometimes I actually do feel that way. Like, I don't even remember what it was, but I was like, no, I stand behind that, honestly. But then sometimes I am a little bit too nice and I'm like, girl, you gotta stop being so soft. Like, but what can I say? I just have empathy. Sorry. Okay, 90 days after posting this, I left the relationship. I'm 12 days into our separation, unfortunately still living together, but working on changing that. I also started therapy, and it has been a revelation. I gave 4.5 years of my life giving 100% to this man and reaped nothing from it. That energy could have and should have been invested in myself. Imagine where I could be now. Life is full of lessons, and if you take anything from this sub today, let it be this. When someone tells you who they are with their words and actions, believe them. I'm so excited for the rest of my life. I'm going to surround myself with people who believe in me and achieve what I want to achieve all by myself. A man does not determine your worth, and please never put your life on hold waiting for one either. Peace and love. See, I'm just confused about that because that means that you just didn't have a good relationship. It wasn't because you didn't get married or you didn't get proposed to, right? Because if that's the only reason that you're saying you reaped nothing from it, then I'm kind of scared. Because you get, like, if you didn't get anything from your relationship, then that's a whole other story. The part of you not getting proposed to or not being engaged or getting married is honestly besides the point. If you feel like you reaped nothing from the relationship, then you probably shouldn't have wanted to get proposed to or get engaged to him in the first place. Update 2, 8.5 months later. It's been roughly a year since I made my first post. Just thought I would shed some light on my life since I left 9 months ago. I've saved a deposit for my first property and I start my house hunt in the new year. I plan to buy solo and have my sister come live with me when I'm settled. I secured a new job that I start in January that I was headhunted for with a 25% increase in salary and a lot of progression opportunities. I bought a new car all by myself that I maintain myself. Made a new circle of friends who I adore and have had so much fun with. Strengthened my relationships with my family as I can dedicate more time to them. Went to a play on my own, went to a concert on my own, went abroad on my own, and met some amazing people who I'm still in contact with. Lost 25 pounds in weight and gained a love for the gym and swimming. I swam 30 kilometers in the month of June. This year has turned out to be the best year of my adult life, and I'm not exaggerating. I'm the happiest I've probably ever been, and I have so much to look forward to because I'm living my life for me. So, if you're ending 2025 unsure, upset, and disappointed with the man in your life, where could you be in a year? Make 2026 the year of choosing you. Love. Seriously, let's end on that sentiment. Make 2026 the year of choosing you and take a step back from your relationship. And if you're not happy in your relationship, think on that because you do not want to waste any more time with someone that you're not happy with. And honestly, I wouldn't, well, you know what? She was so young when they started dating. Like, 4 years together, she's 25 years old. So that means she's been with this man since she was 21. And of course, everyone's different. I've been with my boyfriend since I was, 22, pretty much. And love him so much. But I think that in a lot of cases, like if you're with someone from the time that you're super young, then a lot of times you kind of got to reevaluate your relationship. It's like a lease, you know? It's like a lease on a house or a lease on an apartment or a car. You got to relook at the terms and, reevaluate or refinance. I don't know. Anyways, love you guys. And I hope that we all start off 2026 so happy and so healthy. And I hope that we have the best year ever. Seriously. Oh my God. Not a good start to 2026. Like I'm so, and I hate to make this a very sad ending, but I'm very, very, very upset with I'm always upset. All right. I'm always upset about it. The current state of the country every single day for the past year now. I've been so upset about it. And I'm even more upset now because ICE is literally the shittiest of shit holes in the world, and I'm so sad about what happened in Minneapolis. Like genuinely, sometimes not even computing in my brain or comprehending in my brain because it genuinely feels like, and I mean this in like the most genuine, sincere way, it seems like I'm watching a fictional show. But then I realized actually this is real life and this is actually happening to people. And that's crazy because I swear 3 months ago I just watched The Handmaid's Tale and this is the shit that was happening in that show. Like, this is the shit that was like, this is so crazy. This is the shit that happens in a show where you're like, oh my God, that is, hopefully that never happens. Like, oh my God, that'd be crazy if that ever happened. And then it happens and you're like, wow, this is actually insane. And I just feel so hopeless all the time because it's like every single day I think we're getting more and more desensitized to the fact that our president is a fucking loony bin, an actual loony tune, okay? In the worst way possible. And I mean that in the most deprecating way ever. Yeah. I don't know. I could go on and on about that, but I love you guys, and I'll talk to you in the next episode. Bye. Love you guys so much. Thanks for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe.